I traveled here with two friends who are here for the very first time. We had a delightful discussion last night about how they're frustrated because they've launched these rockets of desire and it's not manifesting yet. And so I was trying to tell them to be patient, enjoy the ride, it'll happen, get in the receptive mode.
Before you go further, we want to say something to you. We really like the way that your conversation unfolded here. It's not manifesting yet. Those were your words. And we want to just remind you that manifesting means you're translating it from a vibration into something that is tangible. So rather than saying it's not manifesting yet, it's better if you say, I'm not in the mode where I can see it coming. And the reason you can't see it coming is because you're looking through beliefs that blind you. And even though there is evidence of its coming, in other words, if you were on the highway and you were going somewhere, let's say you're going to drive 1,000 miles from here to there, and most of the time during this journey you're not there, but you're also not discouraged because you can witness yourself getting closer. And that's what we want you to begin to understand about this manifesting business. We want you to witness yourself getting closer so that you realize that you're closing in on it. It's getting closer and closer and closer to that full manifestation where you can use your eyes and ears and so forth to completely acknowledge its existence. And so it hasn't manifested yet is never true. But what is true is I'm blind to its obvious unfolding because I'm on a vibrational wavelength that keeps me from recognizing it. And because I'm a stubborn human, I want to see the full see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it version of it before I will even admit I'm on the way to it. And that's what we wish for you to stop doing. When your dog can hear things that you can't hear, do you say, stop it, you little faker? Or do you acknowledge that your dog really can hear something you can't hear? And so we're not here to sharpen your hearing. We're here to sharpen your awareness of. But it takes a little bit of understanding of how the laws of the universe work. You have to begin to use another sense. Rather than seeing it or hearing it or smelling it or tasting it or touching it, we want you to sense it. We want you to sense that it is there. We want you to sense its existence. And as you sense it, which in the beginning might just be hoping for it, which is a whole lot better than doubting it, pretty soon it will get big enough that you'll be on the trail of it. Esther remembers watching this magnificent dog. Oh, such a hound dog. And his parents threw an object, it was a football, off into some very dense woods. And this man had a strong arm and he threw it far and fast into very dense trees and bushes and underbrush. And Esther thought, that dog will never ever find that. And it was right back with it. It was right back with it. It didn't have to see it. It could sense it. It used its nose, but you have a sensor too.
It's interesting because my friends, and I love them dearly, Nora's going to be a published author someday, but she's frustrated because the book isn't published yet. And Lou is going to be a financial planner, and she's just frustrated because the money's not flowing yet. And I try to tell them, be patient, it's coming, it's coming. I kind of have the opposite.
Before you go further, you're really good at setting these up. Before you go further, we don't want anyone to have patience, because if you need patience, that means tolerating being not in the receptive mode. I've asked for it and it is given, but I'm not letting it in. And since I'm not letting it in, I have to learn to be patient about not letting it in. And we say, why be patient about not letting it in? Why not let it in? And you say, because we can't see it. And we say, well, just look a little more. Look more carefully for it.
We talked about the corn growing analogy, and you've mentioned it before. You plant the seed and you don't stand over it and say, where's my corn? You have to be patient to allow that to manifest and eventually work.
Are you patient or are you knowledgeable? Is that patience Or is that knowledgeable?
Just knowing that it's going to take some time to
You
grow.
know, you're not stupid. You know that it's going to take more than now. You're not just standing there. I'm waiting for you. Oh, there's a hole in Esther's sock. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. No, you get on with other things. You do other things that are important to you. You're not just standing there learning to develop patience. You're getting on with life. Patience is not a positive emotion. Patience is putting up with something that doesn't feel good. And if you're working hard to develop patience, then you're sort of working in the wrong direction. We don't want you to be patient. We want you to be optimistic, and we want you to be eager, and we want you to feel good. But sometimes you want to focus upon things that are already here rather than standing in a yearning stance waiting for something that isn't here to get here. Or you want to sense its existence even before you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. And that's not patience. That's acknowledgement. That's knowledge.
On the forefront of my mind is about getting ready to be ready. And
I'm glad you said that, because we haven't said it today, but that's really what's happening. You're ready to be ready, 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 to be ready. And eventually there's a manifestation, but there's a whole lot of fun on the way, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
there ought to be.
Yeah.
Except I'm impatiently being ready to be ready. And here's the thing.
What is impatience telling you?
I really want it.
What else is it telling you? You're slowing
I'm
it down.
not allowing.
You're not allowing it. It would help you to look at it this way. It's telling you that your point of view about what you want and your inner being's point of view about what you want are different. Because you're feeling that there's a risk, your inner being isn't. You're feeling it's taking too long, your inner being knows it's right on track. You're feeling like you've done something wrong, your inner being knows it's all right. There are layers of things that you're feeling that your inner being isn't feeling, that in time you just peel those layers off until now you're in sync with your inner being. And each time you do that, you get clearer about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, until you get all sure of yourself.
Well, this is what happens to me. I'm a very creative person. I have lived through a lot of contrast, and I've gotten to a point where I appreciate the contrast. An example, briefly, I have a son with autism who's 23 years old now, and initially I didn't see that as a very good thing, certainly when that diagnosis was made. But I have such a great appreciation for the being that he is, and he's such a great teacher for me. So that's been incredible.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of stories in me, and I really do want to uplift others. And I do have the skill of writing. I have the skill of art and photography. I have a lot of interests. And what ends up happening is I'm very inspired. And since you told me, especially since you told me last time I was here, that my only hope was to meditate, and you weren't kidding, I've been meditating every single day ever since June 3rd when I was sitting here. And this is day 90 now. You told me 60 days, things will turn around, and certainly it's been an incredible time. I now look forward to getting up in the morning and out of bed to meditate. That's never happened. I never wanted to get out of bed. I just wanted to stay asleep forever because I didn't enjoy life. So that's been huge, and I want to thank you for that. But I am at day 90, and
But who's counting?
Understand.
90 days of feeling better has been a real drag.
Well, I mean,
it's a terrible price to pay. This happiness is a terrible price to pay.
Well, I'm at this point impatiently waiting for inspired action.
We'll help you here with this, but we're going to play with you a little bit first. It's like saying, I have these things I want, and I believe I will feel better when I get them. I want a published book. I want a book to flow. I want the book to come with ease. I want to publish the book. I want to teach. I want to help others. And in doing those things, I will feel so good. And so we say, well, the path to what you want is to meditate. So you meditate and you get feeling better and better and better and better and better and better. So you actually got what you wanted. But you said, no, I wanted the book so that I could feel better. I didn't want to just feel better.
But those manifestations are so nice.
They are nice, and we're not trying to get you to not have them. That's why you're here in this physical body. Manifestations matter. But we just want to point out to you that everything you want, no matter what it is so you believe you will feel better in the having of it. So if you can find a way of feeling better, then that is surefire evidence that the having of it is coming too. But what's surprising you, and this is the thing we really want you all to hear, is that the flawed premise that so many of you live under is that if I do this, I will feel better. And you didn't count on feeling better until you did that. You want things to go by the way the beliefs have been established within you before. If I do this and this and this, then I will get this. And we say, but what if you could get this without doing this and this and this? Can you hear what we're getting at? So as you meditate and slow the angst within you, slow the impatience within you, and let the feeling of well-being rise, what happens is then you begin to receive the impulses. Now, last time we spoke, we weren't talking as we are today about what that receiving mode is like, about how the thought just downloads. And sometimes a thought that you receive doesn't seem related to what you think you want, but it's getting ready to be ready to be ready to be ready. And that's why we say when you meditate every day, because it's a progressive thing, then at first the thoughts don't seem to be so specifically related to what you think you want. But if you're ready to be ready, then this one might not seem to be so related either. But each day, as more thoughts come, before you know it, you can connect the dots right to the specifics of what you want, because this is always true. Not only are the things that you want vivid in your vortex, but all the reasons that you want them are vivid in the vortex too. And so there are many things that you want for reasons that you have forgotten. It's sort of like, have you ever wanted something or been with a child who wanted something and they've been talking about it and talking about it and talking about it so long that they've forgotten why they want it? Now they just want it because they don't have it. They don't even remember why they wanted it. And when they get it, they don't even spend that much time with it because the reason that they wanted it is no longer really active within them. And so we want you to realize that everything that you want and all the reasons that you want it are active in your vortex. And so if you'll just be satisfied with feeling better and satisfied with feeling better and revel in the fact that when you wake up, you want to be up, then you're ready to be ready, and more clarity will come about. You see, what's happening with you? You are in the process of personally receiving personal knowledge that the joy really is in the journey. That really is what you most want to understand. That really is the point that most humans miss altogether. They just stand in vivid awareness of what has been manifested. Not what is. What is over here in the vortex. What is in the vortex. And what is really is what is becoming. In other words, it's what's becoming that really is. This stuff that's already manifested is old news. It's like gum that you've already chewed the flavor out of. It's there, but most humans are so fixated on the manifestation of what is, and they want to add more to what is, but their very attention to what is doesn't let them add more to it because their attention to what is holds what is right where it is. Isn't that interesting? You got to stop being so fixated on the manifestation in order for the manifestations you want to manifest. We want you to feel the distinction between the word manifesting and manifested. Focus on the difference between creating and creation. Can you feel the difference? You are creating. You are manifesting. And once it's manifested, it is done. And that's not where the fun is. That's where the insurance comes in and the dusting. It's the manifesting, the creating that is the fun part.